We're all very much conditioned to live in our head and to trust what's supposedly logical. But when we do that, we ignore a lot of the other signals that are very subtle. Anybody resonate with that, where you feel like you're not listening to yourself, you miss the signals? I'm looking at the chat here. Yes, yes. And Adele, Adana, okay, great. What's the cost of ignoring our intuition? And just think back. Maybe you had some opportunities that you should take and you didn't. And maybe opportunities you took that you shouldn't have, right? I know somebody in my mind right now that jumped on an opportunity that had all the red flags up and it really shot her in the foot. So how about those relationships where you have a gut feeling and you act against it? Your intuition was warning you and you just bypassed all those red flags. The times that your body's burnt out is trying to prevent you, right? That emptiness where you feel like you're doing everything right and yet things aren't going your way. And it can be where you just start feeling unfulfilled and just absolutely exhausted. And the stress just doesn't leave, right? We just keep getting ourselves in this cycle and it becomes like you're running on a treadmill. Ever have some financial setbacks and then you feel like you never saw them coming or wished your intuition would have warned you? Anybody relate to that? Type a yes in the chat if that's you. Today, what we're going to do is we're just going to talk about some basics. I'm going to share a little bit about myself for some of you who are new to me. And I'm going to share with you my quantum tools, which have been the secret techniques that I've been using for over 25 years. We're going to go through some interactive exercises where you can actually use some of the tools and maybe clear some space so that you can make more money, trusting your intuition and really setting yourself up to win for 2025. We'll have a little bit of time, I hope, at the end for a Q&A. And I just want you to know that I'm not here to sell anything to you tonight. There's nothing for sale, but I will offer an invitation to meet with me. And that's all we got. So we're going to do some work tonight. Are you ready for that? Put a Y or a yes in the chat if you're up for that. I'll guide you on a journey to actually clear the way. Great, Carolyn, I appreciate that. Yeah, so we're going to clear the way so that you can have a stronger connection to your intuition and start the flow to manifest a little bit more in your life or in whatever area of your life that you want. A little bit about me. 25 years ago, I was an tech executive in sales, and I was a six-figure income earner for 3 years in a row, making great money, having the time of my life, traveling, eating out, doing the great stuff. There was something missing in my life, and I went on a spiritual journey to Egypt. And while I was in Egypt, I had a near-death experience. And I know that's a hot topic that a lot of people want to know. I really think what's important here, and I'm happy to share with any of you if you want that some other time, but what I realized was when I came back to the United States, things just didn't work for me like they were. I was depressed, I was angry, I was stuck in grief. And I isolated, I was miserable and distanced myself from everything around me and people I loved. Then I got fired and I lost everything. And I went on a quest to find out what happened to me. This was before the internet. So I was on a quest to find out what happened. I knew that I was different, but it was still me, if that makes any sense. Basically, what happened is I had a massive spiritual awakening and I could see things that other people couldn't. And as a result of that, after learning some quantum tools, I started applying those. And lo and behold, I got back in the saddle and I was interviewing again for those six-figure roles. I get to the third interview and they didn't select me. And it happened 3 times in a row. And that's when I was really pissed. I was mad as hell at God. But that's when I talk about trusting your intuition. It was like a voice of God that came in middle of the night and told me that I was on the wrong path and that I needed another path. And so this is the path. I've been sharing these tools with people for the past 2 decades, and I have over 15,000 coaching hours working with people. I've worked with royal family members, billionaires, and all the me's and you's of the world, helping people manifest their dreams and really sidestep the stress that we're all inundated with. And so I rebuilt my life, and I have been working now, helping people do these various things and really having fun, really turning life around. And even if you think you're flying high and doing amazing things, it's more, I learned that walking into the palace and working with the royal princess. It was like, you know what? They have everything we in the West could possibly want. And money was no object. For her, she had other issues. It was a relationship. It was having another child, etc. So it's amazing to me. The way I've been seeing it for the last couple decades now is that intuition is your internal GPS. It is the thing that is guiding you for your success in life. It's not just about personal transformation. It is the foundation, in my opinion, for success. And you hear from CEOs, like I'm thinking of Elon Musk, Virgin Air, Branson, talk about having those gut feelings and stepping out on the limb and taking risks, but just knowing, having that solid GPS showing him the way. And you might be wondering how your energy impacts receiving tangible results. So I really want you to listen to what some of my students have experienced in their own path working with me.
The real deal. I was about to lose everything. All the work went away. And then all of a sudden, just millions in contracts
Sorry about that.
went in, which is pretty crazy.
It's been so amazing. It's just life changed. The job that I wanted just popped out. Everything happened so quickly, and the job was mine within 2 weeks.
My wife did a complete turnaround 180 degrees. I started making the best money I've made in my life. I became a happier person.
It's really changed my life because now I have this prestigious job. It really had me to create everything I guess I dreamed for. I was just totally immobilized and had a lot of anxiety and depression. Now I'm living my life now. It's just amazing the things that are coming in. Now there's bidding wars with the employers over me, trying to get me to work for them. I'm just so excited.
I would do anything that would even take me quarter of an inch to reach my goal. And this has been helping me not only quarter of an inch, but by leaps and bounds.
Absolutely have been astonished. I've had spiritual experiences in the past, but not knowing how to integrate them.
It has been amazing. My attitude has improved greatly. I am not procrastinating like I was. I'm happier. I like my job again. I've had a company reach out to me. They just come out of the blue. I've had a recruiter reach out for a job. It went from, what am I going to do, to, okay, which one am I going to take?
I was in such a transition period. After the first session, I felt so relieved, like just a weight taken off of me. I ended up getting 3 job offers. I put my house up for sale, and an offer came in 2 days later for $15,000 more than what we listed. It's just been an incredible journey. About 8 weeks into the program, I've started my new job, which was fantastic. I'd seen a huge change in myself in terms of stepping into my power, being way more confident, and loving myself in a way that I did not. I was having just torturous anxiety dreams and nightmares for a couple of years, maybe almost every single night. Those have completely dissipated. Yeah, and not feeling confident that I was even worthy of a job that I wanted or a job at all. I'm never going to full-time job after 10 years of being adjunct. I finally got a full-time job at School Lab. I'm thrilled to be starting in just a couple of weeks. Out of the blue is literally my dream job with huge increase in salary, which is so much more than a good salary in the corporation where I haven't been for 17 years. I was depressed. I didn't want to even partake in anything. And after the first meeting, my self-esteem was coming up. And by the end of it, not only did I have myself, but myself is confident. And I can now put my best foot forward. I'm getting interviews. I was feeling stuck. I didn't know where to turn. I am more focused, confident, clarity on what I want to do. And I want to encourage you to take the opportunity to work with her, because, wow, you will have your own experiential journey that will blow your mind. It's just life changing.
So the only thing that you need to do right now is be fully present. And we're going to get this party rocking here. I want you to trust the process of what I'm going to guide you through tonight. and just open yourself, allow for new possibilities. And of course, taking divine aligned action as that presents itself. I don't think it's a common thing to think of money and intuition and the connection between that. The reason a lot of ambitious leaders end up staying stuck in their income is they get trapped in that analysis paralysis. And they're following other people's rules. Our institutions, they have patterns and programs. That's what we follow because everybody else does it, right? They are ignoring their instincts. And maybe you can relate to something like that in your own life where you're doing according to what everybody else is telling you to, but even though something's screaming inside you that this is wrong or this is the wrong approach. But your gut instinct, what is that? Oftentimes it sees opportunities before you do. It can spot lies. I'm sure you've been in a meeting or been with family members or a friend where you just sense they're lying to you, right? And really the instinct or the gut intuition is it's always a perfect timing for it. It just knows when it knows. And when you're aligned, it helps you to make quick and clear decisions. You know that feeling that you keep ignoring, that you keep trying to push down and it just keeps looping around? That's your path to wealth and success. So a lot of people get confused. They think they have a gut feeling or something, and I'm going to share with you what intuition is not, okay? You know that heart racing feeling, and you think it's like a panic attack or stress anxiety? There's a sense that you got to hurry up and make a decision, or oftentimes you might hear it in a presentation. You must decide now. The fear of missing out, it just keeps you spinning. And those jitters, it really just helps you miss sleep. That's what it does. Anxiety is always talking to us when we're in that state, and that's not your intuition. Some people say, oh, I just had a bad feeling. How do you know that bad feeling isn't something that is like caffeine-induced energy or the sugar rushes? Maybe you're eating way too many carbs or the hunger, feeling, oh God, whenever I get that feeling, I know it's a bad decision if I make it. And then, of course, there's the outside noise, right? External pressures. You've been there where you've been on a presentation, limited time offer, right? There's only so many left. Everybody else is doing it, right? Pressuring you to do and follow the crowd. And those are just slick sales pitches, right? And they're manipulating you. And that is not intuition. Here, ever have the butterflies or tingling all over them? Goosebumps, I call them God bumps. Put a yes in the chat if you've ever had God bump. Yeah. And sometimes it's when you least expect it. There could be a feeling of heaviness too. It could be feeling really light or really heavy. Having a sudden sense of clarity or just knowing something or being totally alert. That's another indication of intuition. Or having that physical sensation of being completely at ease, but also tension, feeling utterly tense. The other mental signals, and this is referred to as clairvoyance or clairaudience, having clear mental signals where you just know something without logic. Maybe you have a recurring thought or idea. It just keeps coming back. It keeps coming back. It keeps coming back. Or unexpected clarity and just perfect vision, and you can just see everything absolutely perfect. And having inner peace, like you just make a decision and you just feel totally calm and aligned. That's another indication of true intuition. And you can feel completely expanded or also contracted, like completely compressed or snug, like you're in a little spiritual sleeping bag. Or maybe you feel a sudden energy shift. Maybe walking into the room, you can walk in and you can actually feel, oh, maybe we don't want to be here, or wow, this is going to be amazing. Also, intuition, it's almost like time can feel different. It's almost like can stop, almost like you're in a pause, or like somebody pulled a clicker out and just you freeze framed. And also when intuition is occurring, things are flowing. It's synchronistic. It's easy. Okay, we're going to move on to a little workshop practice. So I'd like, if you could just pull out a pen and paper, and on the paper, we're going to make 4 columns at the top. And we're just going to think of some decision. So pulling out a piece of paper, let's look at that with decision, a gut signal, action, and result. So 4 columns. We're just going to take a few minutes to perhaps reflect on Your last 3 money decisions. It could be investment choices. It could be a business expense or a major purchase. Or maybe it's a client or a project acceptance. So just reflecting on the decision and write down, what was your initial gut feeling? So you got your 3 decisions and then your initial gut feeling. What physical signals showed up? And then what did you actually do? And what was the outcome? Who would like to share with me what you noticed, what you saw?
I don't really want to disclose exactly what I did. It's very personal, but
That's fine, but what was the gut feeling and what actions did you take?
the decision was to do it. I just do it. The gut signal was fear. I
Okay.
had fear, but I actioned. I went for it. And the result is that I'm in the process, and I don't feel 100% at ease, but I'm glad that I did.
Okay, so on one hand, you're more clear and you're more focused because
Yeah.
you've that weight off your shoulder. Then probably there's some uncertainty about
Mhm.
what's the next step and how to navigate, but you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Like Richard Branson. You're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Good job. Good for you. Yeah. And it's oftentimes the fear will stop us. Were you this close to not doing it?
Oh, I've been stuck for a while.
How many nights sleep did you lose? What was it costing you to not make that decision?
Oh, yeah. Just stuck, and I wasn't enjoying it. And I can't keep, it's going to get better all on its own. No, you have to do something. You can't just meditate it away.
Awesome. Yeah, meditate. This is where the key and the rubber hits the road, right? We've got to take divine inspired and aligned action. We can't just wish it to go away. There needs to be action.
Yes.
That's where the magic happens. Good. Thank you so much for sharing that, Rochelle. I really appreciate it. All right, Yvonne.
I had 2 decisions, and one was to join a mastermind. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can.
One was joining a mastermind, and one was starting a community. And it was the same feeling for both, where you have some idea in your head, and then, but it was some butterflies in the gut, but they moved up into the heart, if that makes sense.
So how did you
Like,
interpret that?
Usually if it's just like you said, like fear of missing out or something, it stays in the stomach area. But both of these were like it literally burst through my heart. You could feel it come up and burst. And with the mastermind, I had actually 2 days before said, oh my gosh, I wish this person would start a mastermind. And they literally announced it 2 days later. And you're like, okay. And then it took me about a month to figure out, because masterminds aren't cheap. It took me about a month to figure out how to join. And then starting a community.
I like what you said. Sorry to interrupt. Not you couldn't do it. I had to figure out how to do it. I love that. It's a whole different frame.
It is actually. It was, yeah, it was literally.
And that's how the universe provides for us. By asking the right questions. If you say, no, I can't do that. I don't have the money. This won't work, blah, blah, blah. You're just closing the door to the universe.
And I could have said all of those, but I'm like, I think the reason that was shut off was because I had asked for it 2 days before, and it wasn't going to provide it with me and not let me figure it out.
It's a fine line between, did you telepathically perceive that your higher self telling you that it's time for a mastermind, that you needed some support or some guidance, and or maybe you were picking up the vibes intuitively that he was already setting it up?
It was something I think a mastermind has been on my bucket list for a few years, but obviously never the right one came along. And this person I was just like, this is who I need to have it with, but they didn't offer one.
Yeah.
They didn't even have one.
Yeah. Very cool.
They were obviously working on one. So maybe I was picking up some vibes, but it hadn't been
Exactly.
announced.
Exactly.
And
That's
so-
my point. That's intuition. And,
Yeah.
and that's telepathically, like we're all sending out radio signals all the time and receiving. Yeah. So fantastic. Thank you for sharing that, Yvonne. That's awesome. Very exciting. Anyone else want to share what they noticed on their feelings, actions? Yes, go ahead, Adele. Thank you.
So last year I accepted a job offer, and this was the state of the market. And, some jobs are really hard to come by. So it wasn't an actual job I wanted. It was more or less something I figured would be a fill-in. So the decision was to take the job, but my gut instinct was this isn't really something I want to do long term. It's going to be something that maybe a year and a half at most, because I think the market and whatnot, didn't get an offer that I really liked, but you want income, right? That was my feeling, is that it's better to have an income and be employed and then look for something else while you're employed. My action was to accept the job, but the result is that I'm still looking for something else.
Not content.
No,
On one hand, okay, so what were the body symptoms? What did you notice?
it's weird. You feel, I would say excited. I'd say relieved that I was going to have some security, but at the same time disappointed.
So you're not really thriving, are you?
No.
So it's just sometimes we do that. It's not like everything is perfect, right? So maybe that feeling of not being content will be the impetus to taking another round of action.
Yes. Yeah. And I am. I'm looking for another job right now, and I put more effort into it. So trying a different strategy. But where I'm not unemployed, I'm taking my time. I have to really look for something that I want, as opposed to, I know some folks are really struggling in this job market, and they're
Yeah.
probably
There's a lot of people struggling, but
making enough.
my clients aren't struggling. So if you want, we can speak specifically about that and how to not struggle and how to manifest it and get to the flow of making it easier for you, right? All right, guys, that's awesome. I appreciate you sharing that, Adele. Thank you so much. I'm going to carry on with our work here today. Here's Justin said a few words in that little video. He was stuck. He was really stuck. In fact, he couldn't. When we first connected, he had about $200,000 in receivables that he couldn't collect. He has his own business. He's a construction for assisted living properties and collect all the receivables. But within weeks, he actually signed millions of dollars in contracts for his company. And I just found this out. He was almost on the edge of bankruptcy. He didn't know what he was going to do, if he was going to have to fold the company. And so it all came around because we cleared his ability to make better decisions so that he could attract and align with new opportunities. And not only did that boost his confidence, him and his wife, they've been married, I think, 15 years. He said now it's back to being like honeymooners. So he resolved the money blocks, the relationship blocks, all of the rest of it was truly incredible. Lisa's a gal that I share her story a lot with. She was with the same company for 17 years, and she started sensing, talk about the gut feeling. She was being sidelined, and her division wasn't funded. She could see the writing was on the wall, right? And she was not being included in meetings. And feeling really anxious and jittery about the whole thing. And she was the family's biggest breadwinner. She just bought a new house. You guys can relate to how scary that is and what is she going to do, right? So after clearing her blocks, we worked together for 4 weeks. On the 4th week, one job popped up into her LinkedIn. She applied for that one job. They called her the next morning to schedule an interview. Tuesday, she had the interview and they offered her the job. And it was a 40% pay bump. And that was in 4 weeks. Now, Lisa's not everybody doesn't land their job in 4 weeks, but she had tangible benefits of, she was the one that said it was life-changing because Lisa continued on with my extended program, feeling empowered, loving her job. It's been 6 months now, she's in the job, and she just keeps pinching herself. It's just so amazing. So what's blocking you? It's the energy, it's not your brain. Okay, first of all, and the analytical mind, that part of you that overthinks, doubts yourself, the endless pros and cons. Do you ever make the list of pros and cons and go down the list? That's actually creating static, and it literally drowns out the noise of your intuition that's very subtle and soft and talks in whispers. A lot of us get stuck in our head. And when you're stuck in your head, that takes you away from the opportunities. And when you're stuck in your head, it's actually, the fear is just so loud and confusing. It's really crippling. And so we talk ourselves out of opportunities. We overanalyze until we're paralyzed. We let logic override that gut that's just pulling us and nudging us or kicking our butt. So here's the truth. These fears, they're not yours. They may feel real, but they're really just emotions. They're energy. And the truth is, they're programmed responses that block the automatic flow, your natural flow, the synchronicity. Have you ever been in the zone? Anybody here played sports? Or even when you're in the creative process, you can feel like you're in the zone, right? And everything works. Everything's beautiful. So the difference is when we're in pure ego, that left brain, that analytical part of ourselves, the decisions can feel really heavy and feel blocked or stuck, as I think Yvonne said. Whereas the intuitive guidance is very clear and it's light and it's receptive. It's almost buoyant in a sense. That internal GPS is always guiding you. The trick is how to access it rather than override it. Guys, we've got really hot weather here and the trees are blowing this pollen and it's really tickling my nose. So that's my story. Now, the brain and money story, let's talk about that. Our past experiences shape how we think about money. And these old patterns are automatic and they're always, it's like a ticker tape that's always circulating. And they can create either fear or confidence around money. And maybe you're thinking in your own experience how that's worked for you. And then there's two voices, the fear voice or the intuitive voice. And the fear voice is a loud one. The intuitive voice is really soft. The fear voice says, what if it fails? I got to play safe. I got to save my money. I'm not ready. The intuitive voice, the quiet one, is whispering in clear knowing. It's excited. This is the way. It is hopeful. It's a sense of showing us the way. And I think the solution here is to override that fear voice by clearing the blocks, being able to connect and know that sweet little intuitive voice that we have to learn. I don't think in our society, for the most part in the West, we've not been encouraged to trust that intuitive voice and or make decisions from that quiet, clear spot, and how to get to that place, not be in fear. So how can we assess where we're at on an ongoing basis? This is really one of my first tools that I start to work with people. So think of this as like a fuel gauge, right? We have an inner vibe gauge. And so it's not enough to power those past fears and voices. We've got to access intuition clearly. So we don't run well on empty. Door is our car, right? So our intuition is a guide, and we have to adjust and feed that vibration so that it's clear and running smooth. The intuitive fuel gauge is like a vibrational check-in. It's like a little intuitive meter that can give us a little screenshot or a little placeholder to see where we're at, to tune in. So when we're feeling empty, you guys can probably tell me it's heavy, you feel scattered, you're maybe low energy, you're doubtful, you're stuck in fear, you're second guessing everything. Well, on the other hand, when we're vibing high, we're light feeling, we're focused, we have energy, we're clear, we're ready for action, right? So what we want to do is we want to look in our mind's eye to see where we're at. So if you could just close your eyes and imagine a gauge right in front of you, like this fuel gauge that we have here in front of us. And just ask your fuel gauge or your inner vibe gauge. I call it a havingness gauge, your ability to have clarity, to have connection, to have abundance, whatever it is we want to have. What's your ability to have more money in this moment? No cheating. Where does that needle point? Is it in the red zone? Orange or yellow? Go ahead and tell me maybe a percentage. What do you guys see in the chat? What number do you see? What percentage of your fuel gauge? Thank you. Orange. Okay. It's low, right? Orange, orange, orange. Yeah, that's what, about 30%, 25%? What number do you get? Okay, 60 to 75. Okay, so 40. Again, it's not 100%. So we're going to be working with some tools tonight to raise that vibration and have some fun. How about that? We're going to start first by clearing our energy. And I'm going to share with you my tools that I teach all my students. These are some of the very first tools they learn and apply. And the reason is I've been using these 25 years is because they're effective. They're very effective and they work fast. I don't like to piss around, sorry to say. I really like fast results. Maybe you're like me and you don't want to waste any time. So go ahead and close your eyes. I'm going to invite you to put your feet flat on the floor and your back against the chair. Pardon me for itching my nose here on screen. And with our shoulders drop, maybe let your belly relax a little bit, your feet flat on the floor. And just take a big, deep breath in and just let it out. I know your intellect and your mind is bouncing around. You maybe want to get to this good stuff. And this is what I'm known for, is to help you make miracles. But first, we want to raise our vibration, right? You guys pretty much indicated that the vibe was low. We want to raise our vibration to have it high. When the vibration is higher, that's when we can access intuition and all the other good stuff that comes along with it. All right. So with your awareness on the body, just notice if there's any tension. You had a busy day. All the activities. It's only Tuesday. Some of you are running like wild banshees. Okay. Now just imagine there's this beautiful neutral earth energy below your feet and maybe 1/3 down into the earth. We're going to say hello to that beautiful earth energy. We're going to open up what they call the feet chakras, the little energy centers at the bottoms of your feet. Just open them up to maybe 20% open. And start to begin to allow this energy to begin flowing up the feet, in through the feet, in through the ankles, into your calves, through the knees, into your thighs, and into the energy center we call the first chakra at the base of your spine, and down the grounding cord. You guys, I forgot one important part. How about that? After all this time, I still mess up. Yeah, we got to get grounded first. Can't believe I did that. That's hilarious. All right. So just being amused with Amirah's little antics here, go ahead and imagine from the base of your spine a tube or a tree root or a cord, and it drops all the way down to the center of the earth. And it's attached at the center of the earth and also at the base of your spine. Ah, there we go. And just extend this grounding cord to meet the edge of your aura, the bubble, this energy space all around you. So without effort, we can just let the busyness of the day go. It's like pushing the flush button and just decompressing and letting all the activity and all the noise and situations, people, conversations, everything, we'll just let it all go. Good job. There you go. You may have noticed, I just noticed a shift here amongst you guys. And now you're paying attention to that earth energy starts flowing up the bottoms of the feet, and it goes up the legs into that energy center we call the first chakra at the base of your spine, and it goes right down the grounding cord. So we're creating a loop. And this is foundation of what I call an energy shower. So we're just using neutral earth energy, which is your body is of the earth. And we're just allowing that energy to work as a neutral roto-rooter, just to push around along the energy so that we can flow, so that we can be more connected and more grounded and present. Now, most of you are hanging out in the base of your spine, and I see you trying to figure out what's going on here. So I'm just going to invite you to bring your awareness to the center of your head. And so take an elevator up and find a spot, maybe create a nice big chair, easy boy chair in the center of your head. But we're going to just look out on a big screen in front of you, like you've got a movie theater in your mind. And it's helpful if you just look on your screen and you can direct that earth energy, see it going through your legs, see a version on yourself on the screen, and have that earth energy flowing through the legs and down the grounding cord. And visualize above your head a big ball of cosmic light, cosmic energy, and have that energy flow down into the top of your head. And it flows down the back of the skull, all the way down the spine. It mixes with the first chakra, the earth energy, and it begins to flow up the front of your spine. It's going to pass through all the energy centers. We call them chakras. And it's going to spin the chakras. The first chakra is at the base of your spine. They're like cones that are pointing. The narrow point of this chakra is near the attaches at the front of the spine. It's a wheel of energy spinning. And then the second chakra is 2 inches below your navel, and it spins the chakra. Moving through the third chakra, the solar plexus. The fourth chakra, your heart center. The fifth chakra at the base of your throat. Here the energy is going to split, and that earth and cosmic energy is going to come down each arm channel. And it flows down the arms, out of the palms, into your aura. And the energy will continue up through the neck. And it passes through the sixth chakra behind the eyes in the center of the forehead. And it's going to fountain out the top of your head through the seventh chakra. It is helpful to look on your screen rather than go into the energy centers. But I get it. In the very beginning, you get confused. Where are you supposed to be? You have the most power when you're sitting in the center of your head. That's like command central. And you'll see as we progress with the other tools, as you can visualize these. By the way, that is clairvoyance. So congratulations, you're clairvoyant. And just notice how that feels as you're running those energies through the body. Notice your body releasing, just letting go of tension without effort. Now you can let that image of yourself running those energies dissolve. And I want you to imagine a symbol in front of you. I like to use a rose as a symbol. And so if you can visualize the rose out there, I want you to toss a big ball of fear energy, toss it towards that rose. And tell me what happens to that rose when you toss that ball of fear towards the rose. What happens to the rose? What do you see? What happens to the rose?
Time gets lopped off.
It just fell like the whole rose?
Just like the flower, just the ball took the flower right off the stem.
And I see, yeah, Yvonne, hers wilted, Dana's wilts and the color mutes. Yeah, great. So this is your unconscious self telling you what fear does to you. And or your manifestations, your visions, your dreams, your goals. So let that dissolve. This is just information, right? Now we're going to toss some beautiful intuition towards this rose. Create a new rose, tossing intuition towards that rose. And what happens to the rose? Bright, glowing. Yeah. Who else? Thank you, Dana. Opens, yeah. It expands. Intuitive energy is creative energy. It's expansive. It's glowing. It's feel the difference. What you tell me the difference? It's night and day, isn't it? Fear contracts. Fear limits. It dims. It dissolves our dreams, our goals. So good job. That's awesome. Now we're going to take a little look at our energy body and we're going to scan this body. So imagine a version of yourself on that screen in your mind's eye. And so coming back, some of you went into the screen, I could see that. So come on back into that space of running that cosmic and earth energy, just flushing your channels. So this is effortless. This is raising your vibration so that you can have the most connection to your intuition. So looking out in front of you again, inside the theater of your mind, imagine a version or an outline of your body out in front of you. And this time we're going to toss a ball of purple energy and have that purple energy stick anywhere where there's blocks of fear in your body. And where do you see the purple energy? And you're welcome to unmute and share or type it in the chat. Where do you see the purple energy on your body? Anybody struggling? You see it in the heart? Okay. Look in front and back and all around you. It could be inside you. Just let the imagery of you on that screen out in front of you show you where that purple energy gets stuck. Don't go into the screen. Stay in the chair in the center of your head. I just saw some of you go in there. Heart and throat. Okay. Where else do you guys see it?
Brain.
Brain. Imagine that. I'm amused just because it really doesn't matter. Honestly, I look at this as so neutral, but it might be amusing to you. I'm amused knowing your situation. Oh. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're not going to leave you with that, okay? We're going to imagine a magic wand or a sticky sponge, and I want you to go in and collect up all that purple energy. Just let your symbol collect it all, absorb it all. When you get a sense it's all absorbed, you can take that tool and just explode it outside your energy field. Have the rest of you gone to sleep? Have I put you to sleep doing this energy work? Body chills after. Interesting. Great validation, huh? That you collected that, Dana. Yeah, good job. All right. Okay, so we're going to clear some more energy that might be stopping your money flow or your ability to manifest any goals that you desire. So we're going to toss another ball of purple energy and have it stick anywhere where there's restrictions to money flow in your life or in your body. We're going to look at the body though. Okay, so just imagine tossing that purple energy and illuminating any purple in the body of money restrictions, money flow restrictions. And let me know what do you see, guys? Go ahead and unmute or type it in the chat, please. What are you looking at? I'm here to help you move through it. What do you see, Carolyn?
It's everywhere. The purple, it's not one spot. It's everywhere.
You became Barney.
Yes. And about that shape too. Yes.
Yeah. Congratulations. Okay. You identified it. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to suck it all up. Maybe you need a power washer. Maybe you need a NASA strength psychic vacuum. So just close your eyes and go back to work and you can, like an Etch-a-Sketch, you can literally go or a whiteboard, collect all that purple energy, right? It's just a game. Think of it as being in kindergarten. And the more you just have fun with it and not take it as a big deal, the more powerful it becomes. Everybody with me? Rochelle, are you asleep? Joni? Adele, I know you're not asleep. Are you having fun? Where did you see the purple energy, Adele?
It just was all jumbled. I didn't really get clarity.
Okay, good. So just pretend you can do this with big old sponge or some magic wand and just collect all the purple energy. I promise you it'll pay off, okay? This may sound like ridiculous work for highly successful executives. I promise you it's powerful.
I found myself getting really tired and yawning a lot.
Thank you for bringing that up because you're hitting unconscious energy that's just making you drowsy and drool. And I don't wipe off any slobber, but it's common. It's really common because you've got all this foreign energy competing with your intuition. So yeah, bear with me, push through it, and I promise you, you'll be way better for it. Okay, just do what you can, and if you are getting knocked out, just come back to where you heard my voice, and we'll carry on. We've got a few more exercises here.
Hi. Yeah. Hi. I did chat. I sent chats to you, but probably just you've had others. You just haven't been seen.
Rochelle, it's not seeing them. Maybe it's because you're on the phone.
Oh, I don't know, because my photo, I can't see my video anymore either, but it's really windy here. We're getting a storm coming through.
Oh, okay. I apologize. Yeah, no, thank you for, now you're forced to speak up. Hey, Rochelle. So,
yeah, I had like electrical bars go across. That was really weird. Just, I would say that, like electrical bars, like a cross out. So it was like, okay, wow.
Good. Where are you located where you're having the storm?
In Monterey County, California.
Oh, yeah, I know where that is. Yeah.
Yeah, we're having it's just wind. I live out in the county more area. So anyway.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. Anyone else want to share what they saw, where the purple energy was, or having a hard time collecting it? Because I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you get it the hell out of here. We'd want to get all that purple energy gone. Joni, any questions? All right.
Can
we're
you
gonna-
hear me?
No, sweetie, but now I can.
Okay. I felt wiped out there for a little bit.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Then thank you for sharing that. And that's common. If you don't have a guide, it's common to just quit. But the important thing is you want to get that energy out of the way, because that's what's knocking you out from being successful or having fulfill your dreams, whatever those might be, money related or anything else. And so we're all heavily burdened with all these foreign energies. And the goal is we want to be able to listen and connect our intuition with our dreams and our heart's desires. We have to get clear of those. And until we do, we're going to just spin around. We're going to be like that ticker tape on the television spinning around. Yeah. So
Yes.
thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And thank you for
Thank
staying.
you.
And I've got a few more exercises. And you guys will
Okay,
feel
yours.
so much lighter for it. You're doing amazing, by the way. You guys are doing advanced clairvoyant work. Congratulations. You didn't even know you were clairvoyant, did you? But that's what visualization is. Hey, I'm so excited. It's usually not right away that you're going to see the results. But we'll see. One more exercise here for the purple energy before we move on is just imagine that body and everything on your screen, wipe the screen clear. Just clear it. And having one more version of yourself out there on the screen. And we're going to toss another ball of purple energy. This time, have it stick anywhere where there's foreign energy. It could be your mom's energy, it could be your dad's energy, your sister, brother, your dog, your boss, previous boss that fired you, an in-law, an outlaw, frenemies. Yeah, whoever's energy it is. Could be your best friend when you were in first grade. You may get pictures or a sense of whose it is, or you may just see purple energy, and that's okay. Let's just look at this very neutrally. Pick up a NASA strength super vac and just suck up all the energy and pull it out. Pull out all that energy, all that purple energy, a lot of purple, Yvonne says, yeah. You're the purple people eater. Yeah. The beautiful thing about the purple is it's neutral. It doesn't mean anything, right? And that's what we want to get to. We don't have to rehash all our dramas and traumas. All the work I do, we get to the seed and the core of the problem real fast. We just start moving it out. We don't have to regurgitate it. We don't have to chew the cud like a cow over and over. Let me know when you're complete, okay? Because I don't want to completely rush. Just raise your hand, please, or say you're complete. I want to make sure you get all this. Purple family members, yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Carolyn. How are you doing, Adele? Did you get all?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Good. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. For now. There's many layers. How about that? You did good for what you could do today. That's important. Okay. Yvonne, how are you doing there, sweetie? You're good? You got it? Okay, awesome. All right, guys, we're going to continue on. Do the same thing. All right. So we're going to look now at your bank account. How about that?
Wow.
You know, some of you are just groaning. All right, we're going to just clear off the bank account. That's all the thing we're going to do. So let's look at a rose, a symbol that represents your bank account. We're not going to go into the bank account. We're not going to analyze it. I'm not going to make you tell me the balance of it. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. So just imagine this rose or a symbol that represents your bank account. And just to have anything that represents resistance appear like maybe a black dot or maybe it's burnt edges. Maybe there's some rust or the roses are wilted. Just have that rose represent to you where there's resistance on your bank account. Could be resistance to put more money in it. Could be resistance to take out money. Could be resistance on bills you have to pay. Could be resistance on the stupid online system or something like that. Or foreign eyeballs looking at it. Just clear all the energy that represents resistance on your bank account. And you can let that rose dissolve. Let's create another rose that represents your bank account. And this time, have any energy that represents fear show up on that rose. And then I want you to just start clearing off all the energy that represents fear. Your online banking is counting. It's funny. Is it invisible or what? That's funny. Dana says she's an animal communicator. And if telepathic intuitive info flows well for and with me with animals and not for me personally. Good. I'm happy to hear that. The purple energy was helpful. I'm carrying others and not clearing room. Yes, that's so correct. I find that so true with all healers. And I consider teachers and mothers and nurses, doctors, you're all healers, right? You're an animal communicator. So yeah. So thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, the purple energy is very helpful not to get neutral. How are you guys doing with clearing off the bank account? So clear off the not available, Yvonne. She says she's seeing not available. It's down to me. Just clear off any energy that around fear or resistance. And you'll get the rose will either grow and get brighter or lighter, or it'll completely dissolve. What do you see? What happens? It looks better. 3 roses appeared. Wow, that's abundance, Rochelle. I love that. You see a seed. Great. Yvonne, that's awesome. Maybe that's new growth, right? New life. Awesome. All right, guys, we're going to move on to a timeline clearing. And this time, what we're going to do is we're going to look at our timeline in our mind's eye again. And if you could visualize a timeline in front of you, at the very beginning on the far left is birth, and then the center is present time. And then we're going to go off into the future. And what I want you to do is have the timeline illuminate some little red dots, little red lights, anywhere where there's money restrictions on your timeline. So anywhere from birth to off into the future. And it could be 10 years into the future, it could be 20 years or 5. Doesn't matter. Just wherever your higher self guides you. So just have the little lights light up on your timeline anywhere where you see money restrictions. And how does that timeline look? How does it look, ladies?
A lot of it's in the past. Some family, just the way I was raised and the attitudes about money, and
Yeah.
they're not modern anymore, right? They don't fit today's reality, but they were the way my parents were raised.
Sure. No, it's common. It's for everybody. Yes. All right. Who else wants to share? What does timeline look like? Is it a red stream of lights in your mind's eye? How does it look, Adele?
Yeah, a lot of red. And I'm hoping, I'm planning for the future. So I'm hoping like the end part is green, but still not right.
We do know. We're setting our intention and we're creating something different. That's what we know. Yeah. Anyone else want to share what your timeline looks like? Okay, what we're going to do is with your eyes closed, I want you to envision a rose at the beginning at birth. And we're going to slide that rose along your timeline, collecting up all those little red lights. Just slide the rose like it's a, I don't know, Pac-Man or something. It just eats up all of the red lights. It feeds on red lights. All the way into the future. So wherever that timeline is, just collecting up all those little red dots. And when you get a sense that you've collected up all those little red dots, go ahead and explode that symbol, that rose. Okay, good job. And we're going to look at the timeline one more time. This time I want you to have little red lights illuminate anywhere where there's blocks or barriers to your success. Whatever kind of success. It might be success in buying a new bicycle or success in taking a yoga class. It could be success in fulfilling a lifelong dream of writing a book, whatever that might be. So just collect up any of those little red lights just once again that are preventing you from having success. And what do you notice? And now what we're going to do is imagine a big ball of golden light, and I want you to stream or slide that golden light, filling in that timeline with all the highest vibration from your higher self, from the Supreme Being, highest frequency, gold. Slide that all along on the timeline, just refueling and resetting it. Good job. That's great. And now we're going to imagine collecting up and releasing more energies in your energy field, your aura. So with your eyes closed again and just tuning in and see if that earth and cosmic energy was still flowing through your body, through the channels. We're going to imagine a great big golden net below your feet, big square net. We're going to start by slowly dragging that net, comes through the aura and through the body. Just imagine it's 5D. And you just slowly drag this net, pulling it up all the way up above your head. Begin to collect up any energy of overanalyzing, energy around fear or activities, situations. Maybe you're someone that has to see it to believe it. Let this golden net completely absorb all of those thoughts or limitations that you have to being able to step into something greater for yourself. And when you get the net above your head, go ahead and tie the four corners of it and toss that big net into a great big black hole. Let it be absorbed beyond your awareness. So congratulations. I ran you in a real quick, fast forward drive-through some of the basic components of what you need to do on a daily basis to begin to trust your gut. And it's a process that I teach my students on, and we practice every single day. I've done it for 25 years. So this work is wonderful. You should feel great tonight. You probably sleep great, which is wonderful, right? And what we're striving for here is to be able to increase our ability to connect with our higher self, our inner voice, and trust it. And so in order to do that and to have that connection, We have to be able to tune in and check with our energy gauge, our fuel gauge, and be able to run that energy, cosmic and earth energy, having that energy shower, maybe using the golden net, and then being able to take action, appropriate action when we feel that everything is aligned. An empty tank never flies, a clear path always rises. As we fuel up, we clean up, we level up, and we wealth up. Yeah. Yeah, I thank you, Yvonne. I did see your golden net melted into a golden brick. Wow. Is that at the top of your head when it was finished? Beautiful. To make more money, I recommend your daily formula needs to be able to release, to be able to receive. And so again, the tools we're using is releasing. I believe that you're divinely programmed, you're divinely aligned, but there's just so much noise and clutter and malware that's caught along the way. And so as we clear it, we free up the spirit and the body to come into being congruent. That's when we begin to flourish. That's when we begin to thrive. And first, when we are able to trust, and then we can take flight. That means when we are able to gain momentum, we're able to move at faster speeds, we're in a flow, and everything feels like it's effortless with time and practice. Doubt dies in action. You can't overthink things if you're taking action. That's when we begin to flow and flourish. That's how we make more money. We're being in alignment. We're riding an easy current. And it, like nature, it just grows in the sun. I'd like to share a story of Carrie. When Carrie reached out to me, she was a successful six-figure income earner. She was working at Qualcomm in HR, and she tried and worked with a career coach for about 2 years. She was killing herself. She was doing all these extracurricular activities to become noticed by the senior VPs, and nobody was giving her the promotion she wanted. She came to me, her health was bad. She wasn't sleeping very well. And we ended up landing her dream job. She got a 30% pay bump. She ended up traveling around the world and hosting masterminds for all the technical geniuses for Qualcomm. And she had found her forever lover. So that was amazing. Yeah, working with Manju was pretty incredible too. And he reached out to me. I met Manju when I was living in Dubai, and his dream was always to be an actor. And he was a trainer, he was a personal coach, and he was doing okay, but it was just not fulfilling him. He told me he had $50,000 in debt, US, and he didn't have enough money to go to his mother's funeral in India. Bottom line is, in working together, he landed his dream, and he became a stand-up comic and increased his confidence and 50% income jump, paid off all his debt, had a massive lifestyle change. It's got all kinds of fun stories to share. Another beautiful lady that I worked with, Dr. Naveen, when we started working together, her relationship sucked. Her family relations were really in a bad place. She had money issues, she had health issues, and she was struggling with her professional practice as a doctor. And she ended up going back to Dubai. She was instrumental in me actually moving to Dubai. She was the impetus. She said, Amirah, you need to come to Dubai. Nobody does what you do. So anyway, Dr. Naveen practice turned around. Her family's incredible. The support, the love, money, everything, it came into place. That's pretty much what I do for people is I help them get into their flow, whatever that might be. And in that process, what includes is it's a 10 weeks. I don't want to put it 10 months, man. That's way too long. We need it fast. It's a calibrated private one-on-one sessions that I think are the secret sauce, along with twice monthly group trainings. And then there's 16 hours of online course training that I guide you, similar to what I did with you tonight, using the tool and then just soaring to the moon. And it's pretty incredible. Having the support, not knowing what you're doing, but trusting, and you're feeling the difference along the way is the secret catalyst that is really like turbo fuel to launch you into that next stratosphere. So the work I do, and this program isn't for everybody, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. If this is something that you think that if you enjoyed tonight's session and you felt something different, something shift, or you'd like to know more about your specific goals and how to reach those, I'd love to chat with you and help you refine that. And remember, clarity is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. So I will drop the link in the chat of where you can schedule a call with me. Other than that, I just want to stop sharing and answer any questions that you might have.
I listened to one of your programs probably about a year ago.
Okay. Which program? Do you remember, or what was it?
I don't really remember, sorry.
No, okay. So what, did you have a question about it or tonight or?
No, I'm just pretty impressed with what you're doing, so keep it up.
Oh, thank you. How are you feeling as a result tonight?
I feel much better. I felt I'm still yawning a lot, but it's just I feel like stuff has left me.
Guess what? Yawning is a great indicator that you've just released a ton of shit.
Great.
A ton of
What?
energy. Yeah. There are times where I yawn nonstop. I can't stop yawning.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've even had people, and this happens to me if I'm out with some friends, I'll start yawning. And it's because my energy field is clearing or healing them. Or I'm clearing myself because their energy's so shitty. I've had people say to me, do you get enough sleep? And I'm just like, oh my God, buddy, your energy's so screwed up. Like, but you're releasing energy. That's what it is. It's a great sign.
Okay.
Job.
Thank you.
People cry. Some people have tears. Some of my students, they just nonstop. One of my students, she had to stop wearing mascara when she came to the class. She was just a black man, black streak. And so, yeah, for her, that's just the trigger because she's releasing so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. It's great. Anyone else want to share what they've noticed or how they experienced or questions tonight about the class? Guys, you're all probably in another world, right? Feeling so clear and bright and shiny. And Adele? Hi.
I was just going to say, I've been yawning a lot, and it's actually late for me. It's almost 9:30, so I'm going to have to drop soon. Maureen knows.
I used to live in Dartmouth. Thank you for joining me. I know you're 2 hours ahead. Nova Scotia's got that funny time zone.
Yeah, it's getting late.
Okay, hey, thanks for being here. And if you'd like to talk more about the job thing, please take me up on that clarity call. Okay.
I will. Thanks very much.
Like you're saying, have a good night. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else? All the yawns? That's great. Good sign. I'm glad you shared that, you guys. It's not a bad thing. Nothing to be embarrassed. It's yay. All right. Oh, we forgot one thing. Let's look at that gauge now. We looked at earlier. Where's the gauge at now? Your ability to have more money. Where's the needle now? Has it budged? Yay. Yeah? Joni's nodding yes. Okay, what are we seeing?
Not 100%, but it jumped a color. Went from orange to yellow.
Okay, guess what? Why don't you just take your little finger and just move it all the way up to green? Because we're dealing with the quantum field here. We don't need to mess around. Let's just move it to where we want to go, okay? Didn't you want a better job? More money? We need to talk, Carolyn.
I know.
Yeah. All right, you guys, that's amazing. That's a great place to end off. And with making more money, moving it up. Rochelle, that's great that you're moving it up. And again, this is not a one-time flash in the pan. That's the downside of this. These are the tools that we integrate and we start to build on, and we build our energy field. That not only enhances our intuitive ability to know and to make better decisions and to take opportunities that we wouldn't have normally, but this is a way to increase our vibration. It attracts. It works like a magnet. That is the secret to the law of attraction that most people don't talk about. So anyway, if you want to attract more, book that clarity call, you guys. I'll look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much for joining me. So in the meantime, manifest more money. Have fun.
Thank
Enjoy
you
your
very
space.
much.
You're so welcome. You did amazing work
Thank you.
tonight, you guys. Congratulations. Bye.